I'm from the East Coast.
Okay.
I'm very new to the marijuana agriculture. This would be my second harvest behind me. So I'm doing pretty good. But long story short, a buddy of mine was grinding up some bud out of nowhere and found a dispensary seed, and he threw it my way, and I was like, "Oh, cool!" And I stuck it in a paper towel, and and that was it. And then the journey was on, you know.
Nice.
But yeah, I fell in love with it, dude. I mean, from the jump. I started out. I got that seed going, and then I think I got a hold of Pacific Seeds and got another plant. So I had two in this little closet that had no headroom, right? It with like 100 some watt amp light, and I had no idea what I was doing. So I'm pretty sure I made every mistake under the book. I had to bring these two plants back to life probably 4 times.
Wow.
I still got half a pound out of both of them, so that was impressive. Wait, so I was spending a lot of time in this little closet because it wasn't even a closet. I I I have these really short roofs. My upstairs bedroom has like, the ceiling's like this, so it's like one of the tiny closets that you got to crawl into. So I was in there for hours upon hours every day, and I'm like, all right, this is getting crazy. Um, and my girl was like, she started leaving notes where I leave notes, water plants. She's like, "Hey, don't forget 9 o'clock. I need some watering too." So it was getting a bit out of control. So, so I think in like the beginning, beginning flowering stage of my first grow, um, I came down to a basement, one of my basement rooms, and started building a whole room. I knew I loved it. I knew, even though I was killing these things, and so I was bringing them back to life. So that,
Yeah.
I was enjoying that, and so I'm like, all right, this is my gig, and
Nice.
yeah. So
A lot of people they start with a seed that they found, but not a lot of them take it.
as
I don't
far as
want
I did,
to extra mile. You take it this into like building your own room, and I think it's kind of probably you're doing this like in your other stuff that you're doing in your life, taking stuff one step further.
yeah, absolutely. Man, when I love and enjoy something, I go above and beyond. I take it further than it should go sometimes. It's a good trait and a costly one at times. But yeah, well, what I do outside of this is I restore classic cars. So there's a lot of like,
Wow.
yeah, so that's pretty cool. And you do a lot of fine tuning with that and a lot of precision work. So, with picking up that skill, it just traveled into my grow room. I mean, every wire has a home, everything's tied up beautifully. Um, I did a lot of research calculating, how many cubic feet my room was and how much air I need to move in and out and, the whole nine. So, unfortunately though, it's what I have found to be struggling is you get conflicting answers on the internet.
Yeah.
There is no real. I wish I had the opportunity to really get with some of these bigger growers and pick their brains, because you try to ask questions online, people are just fucking mean.
Yeah. Especially on Reddit.
Like, I don't even want to attempt to ask questions. So yeah, so that's been my it's been more trial and error for me because I'll take little pieces of what I've researched and kind of give it some common sense and and work with it. And it's working so far. My next grow with Growee, dude, that has saved my life. Like I so my first row was I used some like California super soil, and I was like, more is better. I made that mistake. So then my nutrients and my pH, I think I was like my runoff was in the 3,000
Wow.
and my pH was destroyed. So yeah. No wonder I was going to the grocery store, filling up carts full of gallons of distilled water. That's how this journey started, right? So just to flush my plants, it cost me $30 to flush my plants. I was like, all right, I need to research.
I hope you didn't go to Reddit and every time you go to Reddit or any other forum and you ask about
I
flash
know,
plants, people are getting mean. They start
I
to fight with
know.
each other. It's getting crazy.
Yeah, you ask a question, they're like, you don't know shit. You should probably clean your grow room. You know, it's like that's not what I was asking.
Yeah. People
Yeah,
go
they're
crazy
awful.
over there. I don't
Yeah,
know why, but this is how they go.
yeah, they're terrible, man.
You just like, hi, I was looking at, I don't know, Athena or Jenna Hydroponics, and people like, fuck you guys with your chemicals and all of that.
That shit, that bud tastes like shit. Oh, dude, I read
Yeah.
it all.
You know,
Oh no,
it makes no sense, but
no. And,
you
and
need
then
to
their
master.
response is so like, fill up a fish tank full of bat shit, and that's the right way. I'm like, God, I don't want to do
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I make my own compost out of my own shit.
Bat shit is very expensive. I don't know. Man. But yeah,
So it's
yeah.
good to
So
take what people are saying, just absorb it, but don't take it as a god word.
yeah, yeah, there is no like real answer. I mean, even Google AI, they're like, hey, why are my leaves dripping? Well, you might be overwatering or underwatering. You're like, well, which one is it? Am I fucking overwatering or underwatering? So
I remember when I started Growee, I had this grow shop next to my home. I was start like researching. There was no AI back then, and I was looking at phones. And I went to the shop and started asking them questions. And at that time, everyone was suspicious. Who are you? Are you a detective? What are you doing here? What do you want? Yeah, just I want to build something. I got some questions.
yeah,
It's
dude, I'm
funny,
t-
but
I'm. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
yeah, I said a lot of change since then.
Yeah, a lot. Like, I really enjoyed the AC Infinity, the AI, making small changes to my environment. I really enjoy that. Especially um especially I'm high humidity, hot summers. I'm indoors obviously, but the indoors
Yeah.
comes inside. So it's nice to have that regulated because it takes along with the Growing system, it takes out that annoying work that like nobody really wants to do. Like I'd rather come love my plants and sing to them and shit. That's fun to me, hands-on plants and checking my nutrients and flushing my systems and stuff. Even though you still have to do a little bit of that, but it takes
The
out.
beginning is fun, at the beginning when you're learning and you're getting into stuff, say, "Hey, I'm checking my pH. I'm checking my EC. I'm
Yeah,
making my own mixing," and then at some point, just it's kind of
yeah,
annoying.
exactly. Yeah. Oh, trust me, I'm still like, I trust Growee. He hasn't steered me wrong, but I got, I'm still with my little testers.
It's good to
Sometimes you
have
guys,
that.
oh yeah, you gotta stay old school in some spots, just to double check stuff. But
And I see in the back that you have the Jana Hydroponics
yes,
and the Athena blended, right? Is it the blended line?
it is the blended line, the 8-part
Nice.
blended line. Yep.
Yeah. So, do you wanna like take us through your setup because I saw some photos and it looks very cool with the air cube system?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Okay, so here's first thing. My RO system to save me many, many trips to the grocery store.
As you said.
Simplistic, actually. There's a bunch of these. I don't know if you can see in there. There's a bunch of these little floating sensors. So as soon as water hits them, they either flood in or out. Which is also set up on this timer here. Pretty self-explanatory. It's military time, so you just follow it and set these little pins here. Can you see?
Yeah.
Set these little pins for when you want it to flow. I made the mistake of flowing it too much. I had it every 2 hours because I am running clay pebbles. That was one of the recommendations, but I noticed that my roots weren't doing too well, so I figured they were drowning a little bit. My leaves started curling down and stuff. So anyway, so there's a pump in the reservoir. There's a pump in the box. The box fills up, hits the sensors, flows through here, goes into these. I have 6 cubes. And again, it fills up. And as soon as everything fills and that top sensor gets filled up in the original box, it starts draining. So most of the plants sit in there for about 15 minutes in
Okay, so
water.
you got like 15 minutes inside the water, and then it
And then it drains.
drain down, and then the air roots can breathe, and the roots can eat, and then goes back to the main reservoir, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay,
Which which I made the mistake. Temperature is a real thing. I was running about set which thankfully, Growee, was telling me I was running about 78 degrees, which is way too high. Then you get pathogens and stuff can grow in your water. And that happened. So I had to, right in the beginning of my flower stage, I had to deal with that nonsense, taking some bad roots out and flushing it and doing the whole nine. So I probably lost a lot of yield with that, but they're still pretty, they're still doing pretty good.
No, they look amazing.
Yeah,
And,
no, they are.
in the end, you got a lot of moving parts,
Yeah,
and this is your second grow, which is incredible. Most people take a lot of time to learn what
yeah.
goes to what and how to set up everything. And I see that you have also the growing mounted with an inline setup.
Yes, which I wish I, bought the one step up. I think it's the Pro Max or something, I can't remember, but it gives me another nutrient that and I really needed that because the thing that I separated from the automation was the cleanse, and I may have missed some cleanse here and there, which probably had some effect on my roots as well. So that'll be on my list. My next purchase list. Grab another one of those
Yeah,
for the
before
next
Christmas.
grow. Yeah, exactly.
And
But
can
but
you take
anyway,
us
so
through?
I made a I made a looping system from my
Cool.
reservoir. I don't remember the size pump offhand, but there's a pump in the reservoir, pumps up here, obviously hits these sensors, a pH and nutrient sensor, and then wraps around and I have my pH up and down right here. During vegetation, I have my grow A, grow B, and obviously I'm in flowering. Oh, nope, backwards. This is either my PK cow mix, and then my last one is my bloom A and
And
B or
grow.
my grow A and B. So
Nice. Cool. And then recirculate pumps take the water through the tubing, the inline setup, and then it goes back to the main air
reservoir.
cube reservoir, right?
Oh yes,
So
yep.
when the water comes back from the plants and they start to change the pH, how did you like manage everything before growing?
Terribly. um, I was dealing with gallons of distilled water and I was constantly putting trying to bring my pH down in my my dirt, but I was also adding nutrients on top of my nutrient dirt, and it was just a mess. But yeah, so that's how I dealt with that. You just kept pouring and pouring some down if it was too high, and then realizing you did too much, and then put it back up. It was just chaos. So I'm extremely grateful to have that.
Wow.
2 autos here, and then I have this, which is, that was my first seed, right? So,
You have to keep.
yeah, it's my dog passed away, which was my everything, man, and so I named that plant after Dex, so that's my Dex weed, and
Can I
but
ask what
anyway, so
happened?
he just got old. He lived a great life, but and really good life till about his last week of life. It told us, all right, it's time. So it was cool. It was really quick. I think he had some cancer growths, and then his liver started to shut down. So in that last week, like he lived to the fullest that last week, and it was pretty obvious that. But anyways, so I had that in my first grow. I took some clones. There's two of those in my this grow, and now that's gonna be the mother plant, and I'm gonna try to keep Dex going through each harvest.
So it's gonna be like something that you will continue every cycle, starting with another one, and then starting, and then
Yep,
harvesting.
absolutely.
You know that if you were a farm, you will need to hire a lot of people to manage all of that, to take care of the plant, take care of the nutrient, and you get like one guy who is like doing everything with technology, which is it's
Which
a
is
dream if
huge.
you ask me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love what you build over there. Like, first of all, the
I
aesthetic.
appreciate
Yeah, you can see that like that you are a craftsman. I
I
didn't know
appreciate
that you are
that.
into like restoring cars, but after knowing that, everything makes sense. Like why everything looks so good.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I've had several people come in. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to show you the little heater here, and then I still have all my test tubes and,
Nice.
my milliliter beakers there to keep things. I just recently got the T-check. Just keep an eye on my edibles and stuff that I make, try to get an idea of how much THC is in them.
Are you like using the the flour and turn it into an edible or an oil like after
I take
processing?
I take my B and C buds. So if you see, I mean, this is what it's all about here, anyways, right? If you see, this is Dexter, which is doing really good, doing pretty good. But anyways, that plant has dry clones covered all over the leaves, the stems, everything. That's a really good one to just save as much clippings as I can to make edibles. So I take all my B and C buds, which are the ones on the bottom that aren't getting too much sun, and I turn those into oil as well.
Nice. Yeah.
So
Keeping it sustainable, like using everything that you can.
yeah, absolutely. And this is really like this is just a hobby. I would love I mean, I would love nothing more than to turn this passion and love into something, full time and lucrative, but
Yeah.
for now it's a hobby and my family loves Christmas. They do, they love Christmas, they love holidays and I just give it away. I try to take a certain percentage. Try to take a certain percentage of it and do something good with it. Find somebody that needs
Yeah,
it.
not like getting too religious, but in the Bible it says that you need to give 10% of your yield,
Yeah,
uh,
exactly.
yeah, to someone else who needs it, and this will
Exactly.
give a blessing. So
Absolutely. Yep. And that's kind of that was the first thing I told my wife. I was like, some people think this isn't the right thing to do, so let me do the right thing and put 15% of whatever this is into something
yeah,
good. You know, either give it away or if it becomes lucrative, take a percentage of that and give it to charity of some sort.
there's a
You
lot
know,
of stigma in our industry and what we are
exactly.
doing. I remember when I started like working on I'm an engineer in my profession, and I was back then I worked for a medical device company.
Oh, wow.
And when I started like working on Growee, people were, yeah, you gonna build something for cannabis? What is wrong with you? Are you a criminal? A lot of stigma said, no, people have passion. I saw it. I can see it in their eyes. They love what they're doing,
Absolutely.
but they need some tech to support this passion. And maybe I will be the person that help them to get this tech if I will able
Yeah.
to build it someday. But it's
Yeah.
not
Absolutely.
about. I always say it's not about money. It's about passion, and it's about doing what you love. And when you're doing something that you love, it's just glowing. I can see you
Yeah.
like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. No, this. I mean, to not go into a huge life story, but I chose the wrong path for a really long time. And I was always running for myself and chasing after things I didn't had no business chasing after. And obviously, I got old, so that helps a lot. But you know, in the past 5 years, I got my stuff together. I grew up. I got sober, or you can call me California sober, right? And I made a lot of changes in my life, and but I was still missing something. I was like, I was talking to my wife, babe, I'm just missing something. And this last year of doing this, my life has. I mean, I hate to be super, sympathetic and stuff, but I mean, my life has literally
No,
changed
I feel
for the
you.
better. Yeah, my life has
Gardening
changed.
is healing. Growing plants
Yeah,
is healing. It's healing the
absolutely,
soil. When you're
absolutely,
creating something and you see it grow it and you're nurturing it, and sometimes you're getting a bad result, but sometimes you're getting good result. But this is not the thing. It's about creating.
absolutely.
And with creating, there is something that make us alive.
Yeah, I agree.
When I go through a hard time with building a company, it's tough. But sometimes when I go through hard times, I always go back to build something, develop something, get this creative out of me, and then the energy comes back. And
So, so what do
hope,
you so what do you do for Growee? I'm sorry.
yeah. So I started Growee actually as a side project
Okay,
back
so this
then.
is this is your company.
Yeah, this is my company.
Really, is it? Wow.
Yeah, I
Awesome.
know.
That's awesome.
It's weird, but yeah, it's my company. And I started, and it took us a lot of time, and then I got some people to join me and some investors, and but the path into creating a product is so long, and there's ups and downs, and but we need to keep focus on the end game, and when I'm having some hard time, as I said, like I'm building something, creating something, or talk to people that are using the product and hope that I created a good effect on their lives.
Yeah. Well, you did
and
for me. I promise you that.
that's what keep us going. I always say it's not about the money,
Yeah.
and it's not about the respect. It's about building something that is good and hopefully creating a legacy someday.
Yeah. Well,
Maybe.
I gotta be honest. So with all these things that I have, people kept like, well, my wife would disagree a little bit. People, people would come in and go, "Man, how much you have invested in this?" And honestly, I mean, I do.
Don't
I
say
put
it.
myself I put myself in a little bit of debt, right? But not a ton. For example yours, to me that is in the amount of time and energy and headache I had. That's a $5,000 unit right there, if you ask me, if not more, right? So it's like I think it's a little over a grand. Like all these things were manageably, the cost of them were pretty manageable considering of what they are, especially with AI and everything that's going on. Like some of your computers are watching my grow, and it's just crazy. You would think
It's
that would
crazy.
cost $1 million.
And you know what's even crazier? It's that I'm on the other side of the world building a product for someone on the other side of the world. And it's
I
just like
know.
when you think about it, like international is just insane.
Yeah.
And I gotta ask you, man, I gotta ask you, as you said, it's not cheap investing in a product or in especially a product you probably never heard about us before, right?
No,
Before you
not at
saw it.
all. Not at all. I just knew I needed something.
Yeah.
But you
And
you
then
you
what?
popped up.
Did you jump
I
into
start
the
well, I started researching a lot. And your guys' your I think I don't know if there's something else out there like you, to be honest. Maybe there is, but I did not come across it. There's a lot of nutrient dispensers that I could put on timers or that I could, there's all these other things, but I didn't find anything other than what you have going on that did everything that I was looking for. Maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't find it.
when I was doing my research about, and it was research about the problem of hydroponic growers have with pH and EC and nutrients and growing plants. They're reliable and excellent for monitoring the water, and they're a product that can, manage the pH and solve some of the problem. But I want to go deeper, and I want to build something that will be easy to use. Try to keep it as low cost as I can, and just be hands off with the dealing with the water.
Yeah.
That was like my three goals when I said, okay, this is what I want to build before I even start designing anything. Boom, 10 years later, which is now,
How long has your product been out?
we started selling online in 2022,
Wow. Great.
not that long ago. And since then, we've been selling mostly to the US, about 40 countries worldwide, which is crazy. We just got a guy from Mauritius, which is an island with, I don't know, 30,000 people, something like that. Purchase and order the product. We got customer in Japan, in
That's awesome.
Australia, Saudi Arabia, Turkey, Germany is a good market right now. But
Oh,
almost
really? That's
anywhere.
awesome.
What's interesting to see is that you get a lot of people from different places around the world that share the same pain.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's
Pain and passion.
yeah, pain and passion. That's what's crazy for me. Like seeing like, yeah, I'm talking to someone, he doesn't even speak English, and I'm using like Google Translate to speak with him. And he's like saying the same thing that you are
Yeah.
saying. It's insane. That's all of us are connected.
Yeah, man. It's been huge. Now I almost felt like I was cheating myself, right? Like I don't know. I love to be the best I can possibly be as quickly as I possibly can be there.
I've
And
noticed.
I almost felt like I was cheating the system, right? Like, do I really deserve a Growee system, or should I continue to fight with this soil and and learn the hard way like people did back in the day? But obviously I made the choice not to do that. But I did. I was questioning it.
I can totally understand it, but the way I look at it, from my point of view, there are some tasks that machines can do better. And this is not a
100%.
creative task. It's the simple task that they can do. And we can deal with nature and the plants, with trying to understand what we are doing, look at the plants, spend more time on the plant and not
Yep.
doing like water change or fixing or whatever.
Absolutely.
If I like good analogy for me is it's like the difference between being a parent and a grandpa. You
Yeah.
know, you just get the fun. You don't need to deal with
Exactly.
day to
That's
day
a good
stuff.
analogy. Yeah. Yeah.
So that
And it
that's
does,
that's
it does, it takes because this isn't like you said, it's not about money, it's about the passion for it, and having those systems, having the Growee system, having stuff automated is gives you time to not have to make this a marketed not to have to make this a lucrative thing, you know? Because the time I'd have to spend, I would have to take a little bit of time off work.
yeah.
There's things that I would have to do to continue this operation I have here, which isn't huge, but it's enough that if I don't have computers doing some of it, it would be way too time consuming to be able to handle it.
I'm sure the computer cannot restore, a car. There's some stuff that the still AI cannot do. But if you got like an Instagram page that showing your work, share it. Tell us the name. I love to share it with people.
Okay.
Every craft that you have, I love the craftsmen. I admire people that are building stuff with their hands, and every
Yeah,
time I come across something like that, I'm excited.
I've had a few people ask me to make them a room of their own. So I don't that might be a good side thing going on. I don't know. We'll see. But
Yeah, you can never know. People are also products. They also change. And I'm really happy that I had the chance to see you
yeah, I appreciate it, man.
and hearing your thoughts and hearing your story. And it gives me a lot of energy to continue and building more stuff and thinking about what other product I can build.
Well, I tell you what, with that being said, I realized that MV, what is it, ORP or something, is pretty
Yeah.
important to keep allergens down. Man, if you come up with something like that, I'm your first guy.
Okay.
You come up with another probe to test for that to keep that under wraps. I'm your man.
Hey, thank you for the tip. Thank you for the tip.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. So Brian, we're almost out of time. And again, I really want to thank you for everything, for showing us your grow room, for sharing your story, and for wearing the t-shirt, the Hydro Dad.
I appreciate it. I'll rock it outside of this. Don't worry. I'll represent.
Go, and for the energy and all of that. And if there is anything we can do for you, let us know. I hope that someday, maybe you can share your craft in the grow room by taking it to the next step. And I will be your first customer, I promise. If you open your own dispensary or, your own brand.
Well, I'm telling you to keep in touch. I need to know people like you to make that happen, right?
Yeah, hope
So
it will happen someday.
yeah, I'll be in touch.
Cool. So thank you and have a great day. And
You
hope I
too,
will see
bro.
you face to face sometime, in the real world.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Cool.